well. Going to do a little bit of a different video today. It comes that time where you need to change your strings on your guitar and give your guitar that care and maintenance in order for it to sound beautiful when you play, and to increase the life of it, basically, behind it. So I'm going to do a little video today, as I've got to do some essential maintenance and care. I'm going to talk you through some step-by-steps of what I do, all the way through to sort of care of the fretboard, cleaning the guitar in general, and restringing the strings, so they're not going to slip and they're not going to detune when you're bending strings or playing. So I'll fast forward the video for the essential steps, but the first step we need to do is to take off all the old strings. So you can use a little clipper here, which I've got, which is a nice string cutter. It's a kind of a 2-in-1. It's a string cutter there as well, and also it's got this little device here which I can attach to the tuning pegs, and I'm going to start to tune and wind up, because it just kind of works in a little winder. So just to let you know what kind of gear I'm using, I use Ernie ball strings. These are fantastic. I use the Super Slinky set, 9s to 42s. I think they're a great set of strings. They're really easy on the fingers, and I've always used them. So don't fix something that's not broken. And the other thing I'm going to use as well today is from GHS. This is another fantastic product. It's the fingerboard care kit. It's a bit closer up there so you can see the GHS fingerboard care kit. And what it does is it's just going to polish and cleaning up the fretboard and cleaning up basically all the board to make it sound really, really nice. There's some other gizmos they have as well, which is the fret cleaner, the string fret cleaner, which you can use while you've still got your strings and guitar. That's just something you can do every couple of weeks to just keep your guitar nice and fresh, but not essentials right now. If you haven't got it, you can get straight on to restringing your guitar. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the strings off. So I'll see you in a second. Everybody, the strings are all off because they're going to start doing some maintenance. Couple things. I like to take the strings off and keep them as a whole piece. I know some people like to cut some of the strings off when they're taking them off. Just be very careful you're going to do that you don't leave little pieces of the string lying around, because these ends really do hurt when you step on them. So just be a bit careful. And if you've got pets or children around, you don't want to have that in their mouths. So if you've got your strings and you've got them all attached, just make sure you keep them all together. I like to just wrap them around and tie them into a little bit of a knot as well before I put them in the bin, just so they when someone opens the bin, they don't shoot out. But yeah, it's a little bit of maintenance there with it as well. So we've got the guitar, we've got all the strings off, so this is the point where I can start to think about cleaning the fretboard, cleaning the guitar, using a cloth. There's obviously areas where it's collected dust underneath the strings, which are not easy to get at unless you take the strings off. So this is use this time carefully to really give your guitar a good clean. It's probably going to be a while before you change your next string, depending on how often you play, but just use this opportunity to give it a good clean. So cleaning around the body of the guitar and the bridge as well, getting through all the dust parts as well, and then we'll start working on the fretboard, and we'll start using this fantastic product of the fingerboard fret clean and the care kit, and I'll show you how to use that as well. So start giving you a bit of a clean. So I've dusted the guitar, now I'm going to start working on the fretboard as well. So within this fingerboard care kit from GHS, you get this little instrument here, which is to help you clean the actual frets as well. So there's a good instructional video online on YouTube from the company themselves to show you how to take care of your fretboard. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that and start to polish off these frets. So let's give it a go. So frets are all nice and clean, so I can put that tool away now. Now I'm going to start using the fingerboard care kit conditioner and cleaner, which I'm going to do, and I'm using my little rag here. I'm going to put a little bit on here, and I'm just going to start working the way in between the frets and getting some of that excess dead skin off as well, and get it nice and clean. So, fretboard's clean, the body's clean, so now I've got to do is got to apply the strings. So I'm going to use my Super Slinky Ernie ball strings here. I'm going to start on the bottom string, the low E string, and work my way up across to the top E string. So let's do that, and I'll do a bit of a close-up so you can see what I'm going to do around the tuning pegs and how I'm going to make sure that string is not going to slip once I've restrung it. So let's give it a go. I'll quickly show you a little close-up of what I'm going to do with the string. So I've got my bottom string here, I've fed it through the guitar, I'm now going to put it up to here, and then what I'm going to do to start with, I'm going to feed the string right through the tuning peg here, right through the hole right there,
And then what I'd normally like to do, I like to give a little bit of slack so I can wind the string. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give about probably up to the next nut sort of thing. So I'm going to start maybe wrapping it round, and that's going to be my point of where I want to put the string. So I'm going to make a little divot there in the string wrapping around here. Then I'm just going to bring it back, and I'm going to place that divot just in the middle of the hole. And then what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to hold the string, and I'm going to start winding it round. Now, there's a little trick I'd like to do to make sure that these strings are not going to slip. So, I'm going to start winding it round. I'm going to hold this part of the string as tight as I possibly can so it doesn't move, and so it's not going to move across. I'm going to hold it. That's it. It's a little bit tricky to do this when I've got holding a camera as well, but we'll give it a go. Right, and then what I'm going to do with this extra bit of slack, I want that slack to come over the bit I'm holding. So I'm just going to have a go at doing that now. So I'm going to bring it, and I might even want to help it, so I'm going to bring it over, so it's going to come over the string. Hopefully you guys can see that going, so it's going over the slack. And I'm going to let it go all the way around. Now the idea here, the reason I'm doing this is because eventually I'm going to want these strings to wind up over each other, and that's going to stop it from slipping. So that went over. So it's going over, and I'm making sure that the string is coming underneath the coil, like that, so it's underneath at the moment. Then when it comes around again, I'm going to try and cross the string over, so it's going to wrap itself around. So this kind of slack is now going to go underneath, and I try and get the string to cross over. I'm going to wait to the very last minute where I can do that, and then I'm going to start slowly feeding that through and bending this part of the string up where I'm holding, and so it's going to start to wrap around, still holding it quite tight. I can feel it's getting quite tight already, and then we'll go from there.
So I started putting the first string on. Just a little quick update of where I am. I started putting the string through, making sure it feeds all the way through to the end of the guitar. I've kind of shown you on the other video about how I'm going to wrap it around. And at this point, what I might do is I might put a tuner on, or attach my guitar to a tuner. I'm not going to be so concerned about being perfectly in tune at the moment, but I want to get it roughly to the note it's going to be, because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in a second with that. So I'm going to start tuning it up and try and get into that E note. So it's roughly about the E note. It's not accurate, but I'm not worried about that at this stage. And then what I'm going to do here, I need to make sure that this string is going to be available, be ready to be bent, to be stretched, because that's what I'm going to do with my guitar playing. So I'm going to start getting it used to that kind of motion. So when I start pulling it, I'm going to start tugging on the string a little bit, and I'm going to see that the string's going to go out of tune a bit. And it's now out of tune a bit more, so I'm going to start tuning it back to that roughly that E note, just round about, and I keep tugging it a few more times, and notice that will go out of tune, and I just keep tuning it. And it's just basically stretching that string, getting it used to it, getting it used to stretching out. A bit like if you're warming up a muscle or warming up, you're going to stretch those muscles and make sure they're nice and warm up. So it's the same thing with the strings, just to make sure they're not going to go out of tune when you first play them, or when you start doing things like string bending. So I'm going to do that for this string, and I'm going to do it for the rest of the fretboard, and then when it's meet up again, and let's see where we're at. So we've got all the strings on the board now. We've restrung the guitar. One thing I do before I do my sort of actual tuning stage of the section of this process, I'm just going to give one little tug of each string again, just a nice little tug, probably around here, and I sometimes actually like to tug around the 12th fret as well, just so it really gets stretched in different positions. I'm going to tug each string, roughly tune it, and then I'm going to go ahead and start tuning it for real. Let's give that a go. So, strings are on the guitar. All we need to do now is actually tune the guitar. Now, a couple things to mention before you do this process again. Make sure that you buy a pair of string cutters and not using scissors, because you're going to blunt your scissors and destroy them when you're going to cut things like steel, which is what these strings are made of. The other thing to bear in mind as well, obviously you're going to be cutting the strings for the extra slack that you won't need. Make sure you gather all those pieces up and put them in the bin and dispose of them, because they are going to be really sore when you step on them, and you don't want the little bits to be caught by, if you've got pets or you've got little children running around, you don't want them to end up in their mouths, so please make sure you dispose of them. So all I'm going to do now is going to tune the guitar. I like to use a Snark tuner, which is a guitar and bass tuner. I think it's one of the best tuners on the market at the moment. I think it's really accurate. It tunes your guitar by the vibrations of the string rather than plugging in the guitar into an actual tuner. Both are great methods. I just prefer to use this, so I'm going to use the Snark tuner to tune the guitar, and then once I've tuned it, I'm actually going to leave it for about half an hour or so in the room, just so it gets accustomed to the room temperature and the strings, just to get more settled into their position before I actually start playing it, and then enjoy playing it. I'll see you guys next time.